Hello, back again. So we're going to do some orange segments and some yellow segments, so some oranges and some lemons. So I'm going to start off with like a semicircle. I'm going to do these quite big so you can see the detail. So I'm going to do a line across like this. Oh, my bracelet keeps getting stuck. That's it. Okay, so we're going to put the center segment in the center, so it's kind of like a semicircle. We'll just put that bit in first of all, so we know. Right, so this is going to be the outside. Okay, so we need to put in where the peel's going to go and the outside's going to go. So it's about this size. See that? So it's like it's a semicircle in another semicircle. So we'll just rub that bit out a minute, just tidy it up, straighten these up a bit. That's it. There we go. So we've got that bit, and then we want to put the segments in. Okay, so they kind of come from the middle. If it's cut dead in half, they kind of come from the middle, and they meet in the middle. A bit like spokes on a wheel, on a mountain bike or something like that. So what we do is we leave a little gap. We put them in like pizza slices. Okay, so they're kind of rounded off as well. So they touch there. So that's the first one. The second one's going to come up next to it. It's going to have the same kind of gap in the middle, but it's going to be rounded corners. So you want to round the corners off a bit. Do your segment. And then round your corners off again. And then they're going to meet in the middle like that. Okay. So let's come up again. So rounded, so more rounded shape. Okay, so if it's easier, it's either easy, you can either do it from this way, so you could do a rounded shape like this, then you could meet it in the middle if that's easier for you. So you'll find different people find it easier to do different ways. Depends on what angle you're drawing from. Okay, so let's put this last one in. It's rounded. There we go. So this one's like fell off the end a bit, but that's okay. 2, 3, 4, 5 and a bit. Okay, so that's our segment, okay, for our orange. So what we're going to do is, I think we'll do one first. So we're going to do a wash. So I'm going to use very light, with quite a lot of water. You can see that. Let's move this over a little bit. Okay, so I'm going to put, it's a bit too much, I'm going to put some more water with it. Okay, so we want it really light, so really light, that's better. So we've got really light segments. Okay, that's better, nice and light. bit more water. Okay. So you can do wet and wet on this if you want to do it wet first, but it may bleed out. So I find it better to do dry, so that the paper's dry and the paint's not going to go anywhere. If you do wet and wet, you've got more chance of it bleeding out of the section that you want it to stay in. So I'm doing wet on dry for the time being until I get to the details. The details are, you know, where you definitely want it on dry. Right, so I'm just going to put this line in around the outside. So we've got one layer now. Okay, so we've got one layer of orange. Now I'm going to add some yellow, which I've got some yellow here. A bit more water. Let's just do let's quickly do a key. Okay, so there's our orange. Right, let's do some more yellow. Right, so now we're going to put some yellow in it. A bit of water. Okay, so I'm just going to blob this in. I'm not going to paint it lots of places. I'm just going to blob it in so it looks like texture. Okay. On that. So we're going to do each one with a bit of texture. That's it, just dotting it in. Like that. And I'm going to go around and do a few dots around here. Just add some more texture on the peel. Because it's not exactly the same in a line. It's not always the same colour. Okay. Okay, so now I'm going to add some orange, which is a bit darker. With some water. Okay, so this is my orange. So put quite a lot of water on my brush. Okay, and I'm going to do some of the areas here at the one end, because this is quite dark here. Okay, so that's one end there in each segment. So I'm just adding that orange just to make it a bit darker. And I'm going to add a little bit more around the outside. Not all in the same place, like leave a bit of a gap. Okay, like that. And I'm going to put some here, kind of going downwards, not in all of them, because I don't want them to look, we don't want them to all look exactly the same. Okay, because that's what makes them look interesting, is when they look different. So we're just going to just do a few lines in different places. Okay, right, so that's our orange. So now I'm going to do a red with a bit of a pink, that one actually, it's probably red, so red's a pink. Right. Okay. Let's put a little bit of purple with it. Okay, it's a bit of a reddy. It might be too red. Let's try it and see. No, I think that's okay. Okay, so we're going to use that now. So I'm now going to add some sections with the red. Okay, that's it. This is still wet, so it's going to take a little while to dry, and it will bleed because it's still wet from the layer underneath. So it's better to let it dry if possible. Right, so we've got another layer here. It's amazing how many different colours of red and orange that there are. It's quite similar to pomegranates because they've got like pinky colours inside them. Right, so we put some pink, okay, on the outside bit, on the rind, the peel bit. So it's coming on quite nicely now. So we want a darker colour now, so I'm going to use a bit of brown. I'm going to mix a bit of brown with some of that red. It's like a reddy brown. Let's add some red to it. Okay, so it's like a wine colour. So I'm now just going a little bit darker. Okay, now I'm going to get a little bit purple. Okay, it's a bit darker. Right, I think that's probably the darkest colour we're going to use now. So let's go back to our final pieces. Okay, so I can just drop this in and just like dot it in while it's dry. Like that. There we go. So I'm just going to put a little bit of yellow. Now I want to make it a little bit lighter. I'm just going to put a little bit more yellow into this here. Just make this a little bit lighter here. As you can now see where you've put most of your colours, you can now see what you need to add and where you need to put it. Well, let's just add this to my colour chart. So I think that's about it. So let's zoom in. Okay, so that's your orange segment, and we can do exactly the same with the lemons. So I'll leave this here and I will start the lemon one in the next video. Okay, thank you.